You could make the argument that no team has been better than the Cavaliers in 2024. After losing Game 1 of the new year, they proceeded to win 8 straight while outscoring opponents by an average differential of 22.5. They're destroying everyone who stands in their way, and it's primarily been a result of some lockdown defense. During that time, they held their opponents to just 101 points every 100 possessions. That would be a top 10 defense in 2004. Over the last 4 games of their win streak, no team scored more than 100. We're talking about a defense that nobody can score on. Well, that's until they found themselves visiting the Bucks in Milwaukee, more specifically Giannis. It was like all of a sudden none of that mattered, as the 2-time MVP made them look like baby food. Of course, he's at his best in the open floor. There's nobody scarier with a head of steam. He really likes to go to this push crossover to change directions at high speeds, and that's nearly impossible to stay in front of. Even if you are quick enough to cut it off, he's got counters, LeVert's the man to beat, and he slides in front of the cross, only for Giannis to throw it straight into a Euro step. And as soon as the defense loads up, or as people like to say, builds the wall, he's spraying it out to one of his many shooters for high quality threes. You'll see him attack in a similar manner whenever he's given space in the half court. He's got an extremely rare combination of length and burst, so if defenders don't press up on him, he's probably blowing right by them like a traffic cone. Here's one where Jarrett sags off a couple feet, and he uses that to start on a drive left. But with a second defender waiting at the nail, he counterspins back to his right, where one long stride and an extended arm takes care of the rest. To create even more space on these downhill attacks, you'll see Milwaukee's guards or wings set quick ball screens. The screener's man can't give up the driving lane, so he has to step in front of the ball. But giving up a switch is essentially a death sentence. The result? A pretty much guaranteed advantage and another open 3 for one of his teammates. A lot of times what you'll see him do off these screens is just pause for a second and wait to see if that second defender's gonna stick with him or continue to chase his man to the perimeter. And at the exact moment he sees even an inch of space, he's exploding into a drive and putting the help defender on a poster. Or sometimes the screener won't try to pop out into space, but instead flip it. Connaughton first sets it to the right, triggering that aggressive coverage before quickly flipping it into a left-hand screen, now with no immediate help. Like I said, once he sees that lane, there's nothing you can do. Here's another example. It looks like Beasley's gonna set it left, so his defender jumps out to that side, and Giannis sells it with a hanging hesitation dribble before driving right. That's just way too easy. Basically what I'm getting at is that when Giannis has the ball in the middle of the floor, the defense has to load up. This time it's both wings sinking to the elbow as soon as he touches it, and all it takes is a simple kick to Jay Crowder for an open 3. Here's another example. It starts in semi-transition where they build a wall, and when he slows down to start in isolation, notice how far over Okoro is from the wing. He could pass it right now, but instead chooses to start an attack right, which Okoro shadows, creating an even longer closeout. And it's a warm-up jumper for Connaughton. On this one, he's actually going to follow through on an attack, getting all the way to the paint before drawing a double team. From there, he picks up his dribble to survey the floor, stares down Beasley in the corner to freeze the weak side defender, which leaves Lillard all alone on a cut down the lane. And here's what it looked like when they didn't load up, absolutely shredding Jarrett Allen with one of those counterspins on his way to a layup. This isn't anything new though. He's been attacking defenses in this manner since back in 2018, even if he has refined some areas of his game. Where I think he's shown the most improvement is away from the ball, primarily due to the addition of a lead guard like Dame. This one starts with a Dame and Brook pick and roll, but what I want you to focus on is Giannis in the weak side corner. Obviously he's not a threat to shoot, so he perfectly times up a dive down the lane, allowing him to catch the ball with momentum going towards the basket. Here's another example. This time it's a post up from Chris Middleton that draws 2 on the block, leaving Giannis with space to dive right down the middle. I have no idea how a defense lets that happen. It's not just these hard cuts though. He's improved his knowledge of when and where to float without the ball, and if he catches a pass anywhere near the same area code as the basket, good luck stopping him. Of course, the best way to utilize him as an off-ball weapon though is in the 2-man game with Lillard. This one starts with a dribble handoff, and Dame's comfortable taking that shot with any glimpse of the rim. If he misses, he's got the big man rolling in for cleanup. Designing a coverage for these two in the pick and roll has to be the biggest head scratcher for coaches. You have to give Dame attention because of the pull-up shooting, but you also can't let Giannis catch the ball with an angle to drive. And if you force Giannis to play in the short roll with 2 on Dame and a third defender coming over early from the weak side, he'll continue to punish the defense as a passer. Middleton's unable to capitalize here, but Lopez swats it out for a second chance, and the Freak immediately whips another laser to Chris, this time putting the dagger into Cleveland. In this game, Giannis finished with 35, 18, and 10 on 69% true shooting. So much for that impenetrable defense. Over his last 4 games, he's had 3 triple-doubles, and the only one in which he didn't, he had 9 assists, so in other words, he's basically doing whatever he wants. In the month of January, he's averaging 32, 13, and 8 on 60% shooting, just ridiculous. And on the season, he's marking a career high in points, assists, and field goal percentage, while the Bucks have a top 3 offense. He's never played better on this side of the ball, and it feels like he's gotten to a point where every single team that stands in his way is just another step towards success. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out my website and social media profiles. You can find those links in the description. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what you think of Giannis. As always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.